Recording in progress.
Om Shanti. Baba is telling, sweet children, consider yourself to be brothers' souls and have spiritual love for one another. If you want to become Sato Pradhan, do not find any defect in anyone. If we are soul conscious, Baba says, if automatically you will not see defect in anyone, and vice versa. That if we want to become Sato Pradhan, we should not find defect in anyone and have spiritual love. These are my brother souls. Whatever the relation may be in our worldly life, but all are souls and hence and children to one God. So all are brother souls. Question: on what basis can you claim an inheritance of multi-millions from the Father? In order to claim an inheritance of multi-million from the Father, stay on the pilgrimage of remembrance. Forget everything except the Father. Do not waste your time on such things. So and so is like this, so and so does that. The destination is very high. So always keep the aim of becoming Sato Pradhan. Continue to cling to the Father with love. Continue to check yourself on a subtle level, then you will be able to claim your full inheritance. It is a very big aim. It's not just a joke. He's changing we human beings, normal, not only normal, actually Tamo Pradhan, into a Devi Devta Sato Pradhan. So that destination is very high, from top low to top high. I mean, bottom low, fully we were Tamo Pradhan, and now he's making us Sato Pradhan. So he's asking, don't waste time in just criticizing. This is like this is like that, he's like this, he's like that. Always be in pilgrimage of Supreme Father remembrance. And that can happen only in soul consciousness. So we should keep on checking at very subtle level. Sometimes we are not able to know our defect. We think we are so good. Om Shanti. You children, you are now sitting here. Know that the unlimited Father is once again making you Sato Pradhan. How much thankful we should be that He is making us again Sato Pradhan. The main method He tells you is to use is to consider yourself to be brother souls. The main thing, because main thing what divert us is the body consciousness. When we are body consciousness, we see all the problems. This is like that, he's like that. So he's asking that the main method is use consider yourself to be the brother soul. The main teaching you are given is to have a great deal of spiritual love for each other, not a bodily love, spiritual love. You used to have spiritual love, but you no longer have that. Before, when we were Devi Devta deity souls in in Satyug, golden age, we used to have that love. The question of love does not arise in incorporeal world. In Param Dham, in that incorporeal world, is complete silence. No action. When there is no action, all are still. Every emotion is merged. There is no change in the state of the soul there. So this question of love, all this thing does not arise there. Therefore, unlimited Father comes and gives you teaching. Children, while you say today, tomorrow, time is passing. That's what I was thinking today. How fast time is passing. Like so fast. Month, days, years are passing. The Father has told you that you used to be like Lakshmi Narayan. Who made you become like that? We used to be like Lakshmi Narayan. Then who made us like that? The Father, Supreme Father. The Father has also explained how you came down, the full Siddhi, the full ladder, like from top, how we came down. He has explained as time has been passing by as you gradually came down from above. Time is passing. The days has gone by, that month has gone by, the year has gone by, and the period of time has gone by. You understand that you were Sato Pradhan in the beginning. 5,000 years passed, right? Day by day. And this is very short time now when we have to again go that same height in just few years. But we came down in 5,000 years. You understand that you were Sato Pradhan in the beginning. You had a lot of love for one another. In Satyug, everyone has so much love for each other. The Father has given all of you brothers the teaching that you brothers should have a great deal of love for one another. I am your Father. Now, this no other soul can say in this world that I am your Father. Even we cannot say, going to any third person, I am your Father. Even saints and sannyasis cannot say, I am your Father. Only Supreme Father can say. I look after you with so much love. Now, this much love, nobody can be there for us. He's giving all his time to us now. There's no such saint, such sannyasis, or such individual in the world who can give all their time to us. Even in whole day, there's some time for themselves. I make you Satopradhan from Tamopradhan. Now, this also nobody can do. Anyone might be having so much power, might give us few lessons, might give us way to walk on that, cannot make us like that. Even we wish our children to be like that. We can help him, we can give them teaching, but we cannot turn them, we cannot change them. But Baba is changing us. Supreme Father is changing us. Your aim objective is to become Sadhupradhan. You understand that the more Sadhupradhan you become, the more happiness you will experience. Now, this is also the secret of the life. Happiness is directly proportional to Sadhupradhanata, purity. How much we are Sadhupradhan, that much we can be pure. You brothers used to live with each other with great love. You have now came to know from Father that as deities you were very loving to each other. Now this secret who is telling us? Nobody in this world can tell us. Only Supreme Father is telling us. There is a great deal of praise of those deities and their heaven, but you two were a stint of heaven. Then while saying today and tomorrow, you continue to come down from day one until today. And in this day one until today, 5,000 years went. 5,000 years. There are only few more years remaining out of that 5,000. Only few years is remaining. Again, the cycle will start again. It is in your intellect how you have been playing your part from beginning. Now, because of your body consciousness, there is not that love for one another. You continue to see each other defect. So and so is like this. When you were soul conscious, you never found defects with each other. You had a lot of love for each other. You now have to imbibe that same stage again. Here you look at each other with such vision that you start to fight and quarrel amongst yourself, right? We start quarreling with each other. Based on our body consciousness, we stick to our opinions. This is my opinion. This is your opinion. And there is friction between those in body conscious only. How can this come to an end? Now, this also Supreme Father says, explains, children, you were Sato Pradhan, worthy of worship deities. Then, while gradually falling, you became Tamo Pradhan. Sota, you were so sweet. You now have to become just as sweet again. You were bestower of happiness and have now become bestower of sorrow. In the kingdom of Ravan, you started to use the sword of lust and causing sorrow for each other. Supreme Power always says lust is the biggest enemy. You did not use the sword of lust when you were Satopradhan. These five vices are your enemies. This is a vicious world. You now understand what is meant by kingdom of Ram and what is meant by kingdom of Ravan. It is not about an individual. It is about the the level of purity. It is so impure that it is given the name a kind like Ravan. Like we say no enemy. So is there anyone enemy? So Ravan is not a individual, but that name has been given to denote two phases of the world. One is like Ravan, which is now, and the Ram established by supreme power. Everything is so good that it is the kingdom of Ram. But actually, if you see, Golden Age is not the kingdom of Ram. That individual Ram and Sita was in Treta Yuga, but they were deity souls, but also two celestial degree less. They were 14 color, 14 celestial only. But in Satyug Golden Age, all were 16 celestial. So Ram was not there in Satyug. He was in Treta Yuga, and also he is not complete deity. He is Kshatriya. The soul level decreased. But still, why the Golden Age is called Ram? Ram means goodness. Ravan means, and many people understand this, but still they get confused. Many people, without having this knowledge, in uh, newspaper and all the articles will come. What does Ram mean? What does Ravan mean? Ravan is within us. Ram is within us. Everyone knows. But then there is somewhere which Maya, this Ravan only makes everyone confused. While you were saying today and tomorrow, the golden and silver and copper age comes to an end. Even the iron age is now about to end. You have become Tamo Pradhan from Sato Pradhan. Your spiritual happiness have disappeared and your lifespan became short. Because of becoming Tamo Pradhan, our spiritual happiness, the inner happiness, the soul is unlimited and it cannot be satisfied with limited things. How much ever we have, enough money, enough everything or physical things, we cannot be happy. We can be happy only when we have this spiritual happiness, the soul contentment. And the soul contentment comes from supreme power only when it gain back its all power. And that's why, because the soul happiness disappeared, life span has become short. Because all diseases arises from the soul. I have now come. So I will definitely make you Satapradhan again. It was you who called out, O purifier, come. The father explains, I come every 5,000 years at the confluence age. Now consider yourself to be souls and remember the father. The more you remember me, the more your defects will continue to be removed. When you were Satopradhan, you had no defects in you. You used to call yourself deities. Now, how can those defects be removed? Previously, when we were Satopradhan, there were no defects. Now, again, the way, how can we remove all those defects? Baba is telling. It is the souls that become peaceless, and now you now have to check yourself as to why you became peaceless. When you consider yourself to be brothers, you have a lot of love for each other. The same Father has come now. He says, consider yourself to be soul brothers. We have love for each other. By coming into body consciousness, you find defect with one another and that get imbibed in us. The Father says, make your own effort in order to claim a high status. Now, effort is everyone's. Someone can give us advice, Supreme Father can give us advice, but effort is to be made by us. You understand that the Father had made you completely full by giving you such an inheritance. The Father has now come, so why should we not follow His direction and claim the full inheritance once again? If we follow His direction, supreme power direction, not following is also a biggest sin of in all the sin of the world. The biggest sin is not obeying Supreme Father when we are directly receiving His messages. We became deities and now we took 84 birth. You children, you sweetest children, were so unshakable. There was no conflict amongst you, and you did not defame anyone. Previously, when we were Satopradhan, we never ever were unshakable. For example, now if someone says, "See, this person saying about this about you," then suddenly our mind shake. Oh, what? Why? All those things, and no conflict was there, but now conflict arises, and we also defame others. Oh, leave that. He's like that. He also did like that to me. Like that, we unknowingly defame others. Now there is one weakness or another, and so that has to be removed. We have to check what weakness we have. We are all brothers. You have to remember the one Father alone. There should only be concern to become Satopradhan. No other worry should be there. Only how we become Satopradhan. Because as we become Satopradhan, no, everything, whether it is physical achievement or spiritual achievement, comes automatically. So and so is like that, so and so did that. No, forget all such things. The Father says, put aside all of those things and consider yourself to be souls. Now make effort to become Satopradhan. This is the only effort that we should make. It is only by becoming body conscious that you see defects in others. Consider yourself to be soul and remember the Father. See one another as brother, and you will only see virtues. If we are soul conscious, we will only see virtues by default. Make effort to inspire others to become virtuous. If anyone does anything wrong, it is understood that the person is Tamo or Raju Pradhan, and so his behavior would definitely be like that. If anyone does anything wrong, that means either he is Tamo Pradhan or Raju Pradhan, and so definitely his behavior will be like that. Then why to worry? If we become or anyone becomes Sato Pradhan, then automatically our behavior will be good. So it's not their mistake, no. We have to help them to become Satopradhan. The father has the most virtue, no. Where attention flows, energy goes. So even this quantum theory also says If we see defect, defect will come in us. So let's see the highest quality, and the highest quality is in Supreme Father. So let's see only Him, not anyone else. Therefore, imbibe all the virtues from the Father and renounce all other things. Renounce defect and imbibe virtues. The Father makes you so virtuous. Our lovely Shiv Papa makes us so virtuous. He says, "You children have to become as virtuous as me." This is every father's wish, even in physical world. The father wishes the child become at least more talented than them. And here God is our supreme father. So he's telling, as I am virtuous, ocean of virtues, like that you have to become master. The father is the bestower of happiness. We too have to become bestower of happiness. That's it. You should just have one concern to become Satopradhan. Do not listen to anything else or defame anyone. Very important. In full day, we have to be very careful. Unknowingly, we say, is somebody coming and telling about story about others? We say, okay, yeah, just like that. Anyone has one defect or other. Everyone, no one is perfect, right? The defects are such that you yourself are not able to understand them. Other understand that someone has defect, whereas that one consider himself to be very good. However, at one point or other, wrong words emerge from that one. Such things don't happen in Satopradhan stage. So we can check ourselves. We have still not reached Satopradhan stage. Satopradhan stage, suppose if we want to take out this defect from us, by doing worship, how we'll take up? We put so much deepam, we put it so much of ghee, we put it so much of prasadam, we put it so much of dhupam, and we told so many mantras. But the defect which is there in us, for example, anger, how it will go from that? There can be some wishes being fulfilled, but we cannot become sato pradhan, pure with that, right? And we are like this. Suppose a grain is dirty, there are so many husks in that. If we put so much of um, dhupam, deepam, prasadam for that husk, will the defect come out? We have to pick one uh, dirt from it and remove it. Same way, the worship was for the to the God to show us the way how we can become Satopradhan. Come and show us the way. Take us towards light. And now that wish has got fulfilled. Now next step. The worship was our first step. Now is our next step. Now we got that. Our worship rooted. Now the next step what we have to do is we have to now use this knowledge, use the way what God is telling to remove those husks which is there in us, which is making us thorns. We have to again become sweet, flower, Satopradhan from Tamopradhan. So we have to check ourselves what wrong is there in us. If any wrong is there, it is not our Satopradhan stage. Here you have defect, but because of not understanding this, you consider yourself to be clever. Now God is telling we have this effect, but because we don't understand this, we think we are so clever, we are so good. The Father says, I am the cleverest one of all. He is the one who is not having any wrong thing in him. I have come to make all of you clever, the sweetest of all. Renounce all your defects, etc. Check your own pulse and see to what extent do I remember sweetest spiritual father with love? Because how much we are seeing the outer world, outer people, outer, they all have some other defect. So our attention goes their things we are imbibing, their Negativity we are imbibing. So how much we are in the remembrance of Supreme Father, we that much virtues we are imbibing, goodness we are imbibing. So always in our attention, He should be there, and that too with love. To what extent do you understand these aspects, and to what extent do you explain them to others? There is no benefit at all in becoming body conscious. In fact, there is only negativity. The main things to explain in the world is now Tamo Pradhan. The world is now Tamo Pradhan. When it was Sato Pradhan, it was the kingdom of deities. You have now taken 84 births and become Tamo Pradhan. You now have to become Sato Pradhan once again. It is the people of Bharat who become Tamo Pradhan, and it is also they who will become Sato Pradhan again. All other comes in between, right? So only we, people of Bharat. No one else can be called Sato Pradhan. There is no other religion in the golden age. The father says, you have become Sato Pradhan from Tamo Pradhan innumerable times, and you now have to become that again and again. So already one golden age started, then silver age. We were Sato Pradhan until that. Dwapar age we started becoming Rajo Pradhan. Then Iron age we became Tamo Pradhan. Here again God came. And again we came to golden age. Sato Pradhan, we after becoming Sato Pradhan we entered golden age, then silver age, then copper age, then iron age. So this cycle is rotating from the time immemorable. So how many times we became Tamo Pradhan, Sato Pradhan, Tamo Pradhan, Sato Pradhan, Tamo Pradhan, Sato Pradhan, that we have to remember. And if, how many times he came down here. So follow Srimad and remember me. This is one concern you must have. There is a great burden of sins on your head. So much sins that we cannot see. Each and every situation in life is because of sins. If sins are not there, we'll be so energetic, very energetic. Tiredness cannot be there. Even a bit of tiredness. Not even a single disease, itching also, hachu also, khasi also, nothing will be there. Everyone will follow what we say. Even the words will be raised as we thought, and it will be done. The work will be done. That much things will start happening. So just imagine how much sin are there. That sin are only the obstacles in our life, whether we are having problem in any aspect. The Father has now awakened you. Devotees go in front of deity and say, we are vicious because deity have the attraction of purity. Still, the deities, we deities, our images have that attraction that people cannot stop them going and praying in front of them. That is the attraction of purity that even many souls who came in this Gyan are still doing devotion because that purity attracts. This is why people go in front of them and sit. Now, when our stage will become Sato Pradhan, automatically devotion will go away from our life automatically because we will attain the same level of purity. Will you worship your own family? Right? No. So when we become same Sato Pradhan, we start belonging. We have that feeling and that level of highness that we belong to that level of family, DT family. So automatically devotion starts. Now, just imagine someone is having want so much love for Surya, actor, no, so that even there is such craziness that they do puja and Kamal Hassan, all those Abhishekam and all those. Are they God? No, but the level of highness is attracting them. But once they also reach that stage, automatically they will stop and they'll just remember the past as a story. That yes, there was one time then when I used to do like that. Now I myself have reached that stage. I have become like Kamal Hassan, super actor, and then they will not give the same level of respect they used to give. That still they will continue to worship and do abhishekam and all this. So same thing happens here. Because we have impurity in us, the temptation is of devotion. We keep on praying, 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 praying. But as we get to go become pure, satupradhan, automatically these things start getting left out because we reach their state only. It's like we'll not worship our husband, wife, children in our home. We'll not do everyday arti for them every day. We'll not put prasadam for them. We'll not do this. The same thing happened. We became deities. That's it. Purity comes first. So doing this yoga when purity come automatically, the worship will be left behind. So that's why now when many people go in front of deities, they feel distaste for themselves, but they forget that that distaste when they return home. They don't even think about who made them like. The father now says, if you want to become a deity, you must definitely study. This is must. You have to follow Srimad. Like in worldly life, we say, no, children, that how much you will study, you will that much knowledge when you it comes, you will become a good person. You will have humbleness. You will have goodness in your life. How? Actually, with this worldly knowledge, it doesn't come. This knowledge, this remembrance, and this saying is because of current time only. This knowledge only makes us that level of humble and satopradhan. With worldly knowledge, more pride comes, more arrogance comes. But this knowledge only makes us polite, humble, and satopradhan. So definitely we must study and follow Srimad. The father says, first of all, you have to make yourself satopradhan. Therefore, constantly remember me alone and do not gossip. Just have the one concern that you have to become this, that I have to become that good. Like Lakshmi Narayan, the father says, you were the ones. He belonged to the original eternal deity religion. Then where did you go? The story of this 184 birth is written. We now have to become like that. We have to imbibe divine virtues. Consider one another to be brothers and remember the Father. You have to claim your inheritance from the Father. It should enter your intellect that people have continued to praise and defame God. Both the thing we did. We defamed also and we praised also God. In fact, there is no praise, only defamation. And now Baba is coming to the point and to the truth that actually you did never praise me but only defamed me. On the one hand, they praise him, and on the other hand, they defame him because they don't know him. On the one hand, they praise Father, and on the other hand, they say that he is omnipresent by saying that God is in pebbles and stone. They have turned away from God. At the time of destruction, the intellect that have turned away from the God will be led to destruction, whereas the intellect who have love for God and are personally in front of God will be led to victory. Now, after getting all this knowledge also, those who have firm belief on what God is telling will win. But those who still don't believe what God is telling and their mind is again toward that defamation only, doubt only in their intellect, that means their face is away from the God. That means their intellect is away from the God. What God is telling from His Srimad, away from His Srimad, will lead to destruction at the end time. So try to remember Father as much as possible. Previously, you used to remember him, but that remembrance was adulterated because you remembered so many. God is one, but we mixed gurus, sannyasis, deities, Lakshmi Narayan, Shankar, so many we mixed. The Father now say, stay in unadulterated remembrance, just him alone. Hear him, eat with him, sleep with him, sing with him, work with him, talk with him, think him, love him, everything with him only. Simply remember me alone. There are countless images on the path of devotion that you have been also remembering. You now have to become Satapradhan. Now that countless thing of devotion was the reason of our becoming Tamopradhan. Now we have to become Satapradhan. You do not need to have remembrance there, as path of devotion does not exist there. Now this devotion is not going to go in another you. So we have to leave it here only. In Satyug and Treta Yug, there is no temple, no worshipping. So that's why Baba is telling there is no remembrance, no devotion there. The Father says, just be concerned as how you have to become Satopradhan. Now that you have received the knowledge of how the world cycle turns, it is easy. Acha, if any of you cannot explain this, at least your intellect can understand how you became Tamopradhan from Satopradhan and how you now definitely have to become Satopradhan again. This is for sure we have to become either with this knowledge through our own effort with the help of God or with situation. But we have to become like that. If someone is not able to speak, it would be just that in his fortune and fate. The Father has shown you very simple method to use. It is easy to explain using the badge. This represents the unlimited Father. It is from Him that we receive our inheritance. The Father would surely establish heaven and He would surely, definitely create it here only. The birth of Shiv means, the incarnation of Shiv means birth of heaven. And the deities exist in heaven. So how did they become deities? They became deities by studying at the most auspicious confluence age, that is now. You children have now received understanding, so you have to explain to others. This is how, this is your easy knowledge, easy yoga, and easy inheritance too. This is your easy knowledge, easy yoga, and easy inheritance too. However, there are some here who claim an inheritance worth pennies, whereas other claims an inheritance worth multi-millions. Everything depends on how much you study. Forget else everything else by studying, by staying on the pilgrimage of remembrance. He's telling forget everything else. So and so is like this. Don't waste your time on that. Destination is very high and Maya create obstacle in your becoming Satopradhan. In our mind also so many kind of thoughts is brought by Maya only. There are no obstacles in studying this knowledge. Baba says, examine yourself and see how much love you have. Your love should be such that you cling to the Father, cling to Him tightly, that no, nothing situation can make you far apart. It is Father who is teaching you. Clinging means through intellect. It is not the soul who is teaching you. Now, Supreme Father is sitting in the forehead of Brahma Baba. Now, this Brahma Baba is not teaching us. He is also studying. Once that time when he was in this physical world, he was also studying. Baba, you are making me so sensible. You are the highest on high. It is you who makes me so elevated in this human world. You should praise Baba in this way internally. Baba, you perform such wonders. Oh, from Tamo Pradhan, how he is making us Sato Pradhan. Isn't it a wonder? The father says, children, come and claim your kingdom once again. Constantly remember me alone with happiness. Each of you has to ask yourself, how much do I remember Baba? It is said there is no nourishment like happiness. There is the happiness of finding Father. However, some children are not able to maintain that internal happiness. That also happens because of burden of sins. Otherwise, the conscience says that there should be a great deal of happiness, that we are sitting with God now. We will become kings through the study. We are children of the unlimited Father. The Supreme Baba is teaching us. Baba is so merciful, ocean of mercy. Just see how he sits here and explain new aspects to your children. There are now many new aspects in your intellect which are not in anyone else's intellect in this world. Even the biggest of pastors, sannyasis, sadhus, and no one has this. Acha. To the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love remembers and good morning from the mother, father, Bap Dada. The spiritual father says, Namaste to the spiritual children. From we spiritual children also, love, remembrance, and good morning to Mother, Father, Bap, Dada. Namaste, Papa, Namaste. Shukriya, Papa, Shukriya. Essence Padhana. Imbibe the stage of soul consciousness and become a bestower of happiness. Do not find any defects in anyone. Live with each other with great love and do not have any conflict of opinion. Renounce everything else and imbibe virtues from the One Father. Just be concerned about becoming Satopradhan. Neither listen to defamation of anyone, nor defame anyone yourself. Don't consider yourself to be too clever. Blessing. May you check and change yourself according to time and become constantly elevated, victorious soul. We need to check ourselves, not others. Those who are true Raj Yogi can never be disturbed by any adverse situation. So, according to time, check yourself in this way, and after checking yourself, change yourself. If you simply check yourself, you will become disheartened and think, I have this weakness and I don't know whether it will be put right or not. Therefore, check and change yourself because those who do everything according to time are constantly victorious. So, become an elevated soul who is constantly victorious and claim number one with your intense effort. Slogan. Practice controlling your mind and intellect and you will be able to become bodiless in a second. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti.